Hi Bernie, thank you very much for joining us today. First of all, we'd like to ask you some questions about the Healthy Sail Panel. So Oceania Cruises are obviously a member of the Healthy Sail Panel, which has been influential in outlining the return to cruise and how that will be done. How do you think the guidance and recommendations will help support your return to cruise and, of course, welcoming guests back on board?
Hi, Alison. Great to be speaking with you, by the way. Yes, I mean, the Healthy Sail Panel is critical to the return to cruising. And the 74-point plan that's been put in place by the panel, combined with the NCLH Group and the Royal Group, has been well received by the US government and by the CDC. And yes, all of the measures that we're looking to implement within that plan will make cruising a very safe form of travel and probably the safest holiday experience to be had.
And how do you think that will affect life on board? Obviously, our customers are very keen to understand how their on-board experience will change, hopefully for the better when on board Oceania.
Absolutely. And, this is something we looked at from the very start. The Oceania luckily has small ships and we have good space ratios for the guests on those ships. So for us, it's more of an evolution than a whole scale change. And social distancing is something that we can just pretty much do anyway. There will be slightly reduced guest numbers on board, which increases the space per guest. In addition to that, when it comes to the restaurants, for instance, we implemented a few years ago tablets in the restaurants to speed up the ordering process. So everything's made à la minute. So it's great to have that order straight through. People are waiting less time for the meal to come through. So with social distancing in the restaurants and the tablet ordering process, that will smooth things along and again ensure the health protocols are met at the same time. In addition to that, we have a single airflow system for the air conditioning, and we have these HEPA filters, medical grade HEPA filters being installed. Now, another great thing about the social distancing and the way we operate at Oceania Cruises is our shore excursion programs. So we already have Go Local and Select as two of our excursion choices. Both of these choices have fewer than 16 guests, and they really immerse the guests into the local environment. So they offer a memorable and enjoyable experience at the same time as maintaining a safe and a healthy experience.
It really does sound like cruising will be one of the most safe ways to experience the holiday on the other side of all this, which is really positive. And it's good to hear from you that the impact on guests will be positive. So I think one of the things that customers worry about is how will all this affect my enjoyment when I can get back on board. So it's great to hear that things in the main will be very positive. So that's great, Bernie. Thank you. Just with that in mind, how are you seeing customers' behaviour and bookings change as a result of the current climate? So are you seeing certain destinations increase in popularity? Are there any other trends that you think have been influenced by the pandemic?
Yeah, it's interesting, actually. The first thing that I have to say here is the response from the cruise community, the guests out there. And as we go forward, we've seen amazing support. A lot of cruise guests, and you'll have seen it as well, have rebooked for 21 and they're rebooking for 22 because they can't wait to get back. And the loyalty that we're seeing from these guests, it's humbling, I have to say. But people love cruising and we love people that love cruising. So as an industry, the cruise sector is seeing this pent-up demand. And the interesting thing for me is that people have either booked for 21 or they're waiting for our season launch for 22. At the same time, if you think the amount of people that cruise in any given year, they've basically been starved of that experience for much of this year. So there will be an increase in the pent-up demand for 21 and 22 because people will still spend the money and they will still want to travel. There is this desire within us to do that. So we're seeing this strength of support, and we're also seeing this undefeatable desire to travel the world and to escape our confines, if you like. And you know what it's like, if you've been locked away for a long time, the energy and the fervor that you have to get outside and do something is that much stronger.
Absolutely. And it reminds you of all the things that you can do on a cruise and all the flexibility. So all the things that have been taken away from us are so apparent on a cruise, and the flexibility and the different things you get to see and do. So I can absolutely understand why customers are desperate to start cruising again. I know I am. I'm sure you are too.
Yes.
And as you rightly say, 2022 is on the horizon, and we too are seeing lots of bookings for 22. We're going to talk a little bit more about your 2022 program launch shortly. But just before we talk about that, Oceania have a Travellers Reassurance Program or Assurance Program. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that helps with confidence for customers to book at this time, knowing that they've got the ultimate in flexibility should things change, or should they change their mind about their booking?
Absolutely. And, we are living in very uncertain times, and it's the least we can do to those guests that have supported us to be able to support them back and give that peace of mind when they're making their bookings. So the Travelers Assurance Program basically does that. If anybody makes a booking and then decides to cancel for whatever reason, for up until a sailing of up until 31 October 2021, they can get a future cruise credit for 100% value up to 15 days prior to sailing. That being said, we've always had refundable deposits. That's been one of our key features. And we have our best price guarantee, which means that if a lower offer comes out at a later date, then contact us and we'll move you over to that offer. So we've got a combination of measures here that really give that peace of mind that is needed at this moment in time. So yes, it's we're pleased to be able to offer it, and it has been well received.
It makes a huge difference to customers with, as you say, uncertain times. Peace of mind is a huge thing for booking at the moment. So that's great. So on to 2020 and your launch. So that's about to happen imminently. There's always lots of new itineraries, lots of new destinations when you launch a program. And I think that 2022 is hugely awaited because customers are wanting to book further out in terms of departure period. So what can you tell us about the highlights within your new program?
Oh, where do I start? It's amazing, that as a company and as a brand, we spend our lives creating new experiences, and the guys behind the itineraries, they never cease to amaze me. We've got 110 different itineraries for summer 2022, of which 76 of these are new and 90 are unique. So we're really charting new ground for Oceania Cruises. Particularly for the UK, we have an increase of our no-fly sailings from the UK. So as well as Southampton, we're now going to be doing some departures from Portsmouth and Edinburgh, both ports which lend themselves to small ship cruising. So we're really excited about those opportunities. As far as destinations are concerned, we've got a really strong program for the North for summer 2022. We're doing the fjords, we're doing the Baltic, and we even have an itinerary to the North Cape, which we do every other year. So that's going to be really exciting. We know demand is going to be high for that. Looking at the Mediterranean, the Eastern Mediterranean is a particular star in summer 22. Some beautiful itineraries there. And again, they're always very popular with our customers. And then, of course, we have Alaska and the Amazon that also get into this program. So, while you would think summer is mainly a Mediterranean experience, it's still pretty much all over the world for us.
Yeah, great. So I think that the two ends of the scale there, the more sailings from the UK, so the customers who perhaps don't want to go quite as far afield as they would ordinarily and they don't want to fly, you've got that covered. Mm-hmm. Always really popular and always sell very early in our experience. But also the further afield destinations, one of the trends that we're seeing is that customers are wanting to try something new. As you said, we've been in various stages of lockdown and not being able to enjoy the holidays we used to. I think one of the things that customers are doing is deciding to go to that place that they always wanted to go to.
Yes.
So I would imagine Alaska very much fits into that. It's certainly on my bucket list.
And mine. And mine.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us, Bernie. We look forward to your programme going on sale. And we look forward to Oceania being back in the water before too much longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Alison. And I would just like to thank you and everybody at Six Star and all of your customers for the support that you've all shown us over the years. You are one of our key players. You make a huge difference in the industry, and it's a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you, Bernie. Much
Thank you.
appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.